do you hear that love story in the piece itself? Does that come true to
Absolutely.
you?
Absolutely. Yes. I had never heard this piece before. And as I started listening to it more and more, I actually like really started falling in love with the piece, I have to say. It goes through so many emotions and there's so many beautiful melodic themes that come with it. So, well, right off the bat, as we can see that this concerto, it's not your typical concerto where it consists of three movements, the first one being moderately fast, the second slow, and then the third one fast. So this concerto has two movements. So this is a rhapsodic form. And so it's very free flowing. And we have the first movement. It's the solo violin comes by him or herself, and it's very intimate. It's a very intimate, introverted beginning. And after the first scan of the first violins, they come in. So it's very intimate because it's kind of like chamber music in a way. I mean, in my opinion, I think when the violins add to the solo violin in the beginning, it's Bartók's way of showing this is probably a stretch, but it's about the voice of Stefi, I
Mm.
think, and as if they were kind of having a conversation with each other. So yeah,
In his dreams.
and in his dreams.
Yeah.
And so afterwards, like the whole orchestra joins in. In my opinion, I think the opening theme, it's so we have ba 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 da da dee. So it goes, it ascends, right? So it's kind of him saying like I'm fond of you or like I love you, and he brings it back actually at the very end of the second movement, and it's inverted. So it's dee da dee da. So it's kind of like him saying, and again, like this is probably like a super stretch, but it's kind of like him saying, "Please love me back." So
I like that.
I have to say, actually, it's probably as of now, it's one of my favorite concertos. Like the more I listen to it, the more I analyze, and the more I practice it, the more I play it. It's just you can just like feel the humanity actually in him.
Now,
Yeah,
maybe you can talk a little bit about the love story in Chausson's Poème for violin and orchestra,
sure.
which is the other
Um,
piece you'll be playing this in this concert.
mhm, sure. So Chausson, he originally wrote this piece for the Belgian violinist Eugenie Zay. It's a piece which I've always wanted to perform, so I'm really happy with that. It's a piece filled with, and actually, I'll quote this from the internet because I couldn't have put it in more beautiful words myself. So it's passionate love, painful obsession, and intense yearning, and that's exactly what the piece is. It's deeply emotional, and actually the piece, I believe he was inspired by the short story by Ivan Turgenev. He wrote this short story called The Song of Triumphant, which is about it's a love triangle actually. So there's two men, and they're both in love with a woman. So in the piece, like you can hear just like that love that they have for this woman. And so the piece begins with the orchestra introduction. It's very dark, it's very moody, and after a couple of minutes, you have the solo violin kind of almost like interrupting, and you have this long held note coming in, and it turns into this, in my most humble opinion, the most uh, beautiful openings of any piece. And I actually grew up with this piece, so it just evokes so many emotions inside of me every time I hear it. And the harmonies that Chausson uses is just so it literally sends chills down my spine every time I hear it. And like how you hear like a piece of music, and after hearing it, your brain gets that kind of dopamine, and then you're kind of over it.
Yeah.
This piece, like in the beginning, it will never get old for me. Like every time I hear it, every time I hear those harmonies in the beginning after the violin comes in, It's just the most incredible opening ever. It's like a forgotten love, far in the distance, and then you hear actually one of the moments, which is actually really incredible to me. You have the violin solo, uh, going to an ascending upward scale all the way, and it's this moment of anticipation until the orchestra comes in, and they come back with the theme, and it just like kind of it's very overwhelming emotions actually at that point.
That's a great moment.
Yeah. And then at the end, you come to the end, E flat major, and that's really up to the listener to decide whether it's a happy ending or a sad ending, or uh I mean, to me at least, it kind of sounds like heaven actually. It's kind of like ascending to heaven. And yeah. Yeah.
Well, Ani, thank you so much for talking about this. We're going to send some of this out to our audience and look forward to having lots of people come to hear you play next week.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks again.
thank you.